January 6th, Rob Lohman. Welcome to 365 Christian Men, where every day we aim to inspire and encourage with real-life stories about men. One day, Rob came face-to-face with an enemy and took it down. From there, he launched Lifted from the Rut, a resource for people who were looking for help with recovery. He also launched the podcast Beyond the Bars Radio, where he hosts discussions about addiction, incarceration, and recovery.
Don't gamble with your life. Deal with destructive habits before they deal you out. Rob Lohman made a killing, the most money he had ever made in one night. He had started his gambling spree with just $200 and ended with $12,000. As he put the money into a Vegas hotel safe, he told his buddy, "Don't let me get this out." But 2 days later, Rob rented limos to drive him and his buddies to the casinos, and he lost every penny. That night, he stumbled back to his hotel room broke, drunk, and miserable. He stared out his 15th floor window and imagined the glass shattering. Rob grabbed a chair in his room and he was getting ready to throw it through the window. Then he would jump. Rob launched the chair as hard as he could, but it bounced off the glass, rebounded, and bashed him in the head and knocked him out. After that night, Rob decided to get help with his drinking. He stayed sober for 18 years, but Rob never dealt with his gambling addiction. Rob got married and had children. Now his family suffered. Because when Rob wasn't gambling and racking up credit card debt to pay for it, he took other financial risks too. It got so bad that Rob had to file for bankruptcy, and it made him believe that as a husband and a father, he had failed. One night, Rob watched a movie about a man who couldn't live up. Afterward, Rob couldn't sleep. Self-hatred raged. It kept escalating. Then he snapped. Frustrated with the clutter from a remodeling job, Rob threw cardboard boxes onto his patio and set them on fire. He had lost his mind. The flames soon burst out of control and the gas tank exploded. Rob and his family had to escape out of the front of the house. At first, Rob didn't tell anyone he had started the fire, but as he prayed, he realized he would have to lie for the rest of his life or come clean. He decided to turn the consequences over to God and confess. Convicted of arson, Rob spent 18 months in a low-security prison. While he was there, he learned to let God be his foundation. He started to believe he wasn't a failure. He was a loved, forgiven, and valuable son of God. Eventually, Rob was released and reunited with his wife, but healing their marriage wasn't easy. When they fought, Rob hit the casinos to numb the pain. He spent hundreds of dollars on scratch-offs. If he stopped for coffee at a convenience store, he had to play the lotto, sometimes huge stacks of them. If he was home, he obsessed about buying scratch-offs. One night, Rob snapped off at his kids and said he had to return a video to Redbox, but really, he was just going to gamble. Rob never fully understood his addictive lifestyle until he started work in the addiction recovery field. There, he heard about process addiction related to repeated behavior, not substance abuse. The rush of gambling, whether he won or lost, released dopamine in his brain and made him feel better for a while, but his mind was never quiet. His obsession with gambling exhausted him, hurt his family, and damaged every part of his life. Then, Rob learned again about his identity as a child of God. 1 John 3:1-2 says, "Look with wonder at the depth of the Father's marvelous love that He has lavished on us. He has called us and made us His very own beloved children." The reason the world doesn't recognize who we are is that they didn't recognize Him. Beloved, we are God's children right now. However, it is not yet apparent what we will become, but we do know that when it is finally made visible, we will be just like Him, for we will see Him as He truly is. When Rob Lohman hung on to his identity as God's beloved son, he was able to ask God for help and work to conquer his addiction. He attended Celebrate Recovery, marriage counseling, and Financial Peace University. He even set up accountability partners. To avoid the temptation of buying scratch-off tickets, Rob decided to start buying his coffee at Dunkin' Donuts instead of the gas station. Now, Rob's new, quiet mind no longer obsesses about gambling. He has gone from hating himself every time he looks in the mirror to loving the God-given potential within. Now, Rob coaches others to get out of damaging behavior patterns and, in his words, to regain the hope that they too were created for a greater purpose. Psalm 40 verse 2 says, "God lifted me out of the slimy pit. Out of the mud and the mire, he set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand." Is there a destructive habit you need to deal with? Don't gamble with your life. Deal with destructive habits before they deal you out.
Hello, my name is Garen Sprove with The Alignment Group, and you can find me at GarenSprove.com. Today we're talking about Rob Lohman. I'm sure that he's not the only one. What's that secret thing you've been hiding? That thing that you don't believe no one else knows about? Don't worry about God. Yeah, he knows everything. Let's put that on the shelf for a second. You know that thing that you do. And what that ultimately does over time is it chips away at your confidence. You may not want it to. You may not want that to happen. But unfortunately, that's what it does. And strangely enough, there comes times in your life where you don't trust yourself because that thing just continues to chip away at your confidence, at your identity. And what happens is you distance yourself from God and the identity that he created you to be. I've been there. And what I did was I started to create healthy alternatives, healthy choices that served me, that felt good. Choices like bike riding, like trail riding. I love the thrills of going through trees and breaking my bike and sometimes even falling. I've set aside remote control cars. I love speed. It's the thrill. Right? Going out on the water, going to the gym, playing a little bit of golf, just things that will allow me to silence the peace that allows God to speak to me. Because sometimes when we're going through this thing and we're getting the thrill of hiding, God doesn't get to penetrate our thoughts because we're so focused, so laser focused on other things. I'm going to challenge you today to create, even write down some healthy alternatives, some healthy choices, so that when you feel that thing on the inside and you want to do that thing, I challenge you to just pick one of those healthy choices. Give yourself a chance. Give God a chance to speak to you. That's my challenge for you today. To your success.
Before we go, quick note, we're launching a women's storytelling channel in January. Same style as this, just from a woman's perspective. If you know someone in your life who'd enjoy these stories, it's linked in the bio.